Hi everybody, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a project today. We've decided to invest in a dash cam, and I've never had a dash cam before. I did some research. I decided to get the Vantrue Element E1Pro. Comes in a nice box. I paid for this with my own money. They didn't send it to me. I found this one after research. It's got some of the features I like, which we'll hit on as we go through the video. And today we're going to install it and get it set up. And we'll take you through all that. We'll take a look at what's in the box really quickly and then go from there. So come along. Okay, what do you get with the Vantrue Element E1Pro? You get the main camera. There it is. It comes with a polarizing filter, which I've installed, and we'll show you how that works at the end. It's basically to get rid of glare reflections off your windshield. So that's been installed. You get a mounting piece, which is going to go onto the windshield with some other, they give you like a glass, it's like a phone screen cover, which is meant to make it probably easy to remove because they've got some 3M VHB tape for mounting. So it probably adds a little sandwich layer, which makes it easy to remove later. And they give you actually an extra adhesive in case you ever need to move it to a different vehicle, which is nice. The camera also comes with a 12-volt auto car charger. And by the way, inside this is the GPS tracker. So this is what will track your GPS location with the camera. It's not, the GPS tracking is not done with the camera. It's actually done with the mount, which is interesting. So I'm assuming you can probably buy additional mounts. I didn't look into that, but that's my suspicion. So you can move this from vehicle to vehicle as well. Okay, 12-volt car charger. We're going to use this temporarily for the setup, but I'm going to use the hardwire kit for my application, and I'll talk about why in a little bit. All right. So when I was doing the research, I really like the idea of what Vantrue has here, different parking modes. They have collision detection in parking modes. They also have motion detection in parking mode. I happen to keep my van, because it's a high roof van, we can't keep it in a garage, so we keep it essentially on the street. Or in driveways that are open to the public. So that increased the need for some parking level protection, not just a driving cam, but also a parking cam. Add a little security. When you're in a campground, there'll be a little extra security. If we leave the van unattended to go for a hike, we'll have a little extra security. And so because of that, I opted for a hardwire kit. So the hardwire kit is necessary to keep power to the camera essentially 24/7. And so that's what was necessary for me to get the features that I wanted. Now, you could jury rig something else up and not just use your accessory outlet. You could probably install a switch and do a wire directly to your battery and be able to switch easily between those different modes, but Vantrue sells a kit which essentially does that. Now with that kit, they also include a 256 gigabyte card, micro SD memory card, which I've already installed in the camera. I installed it in the camera, followed the instructions to format it. And by the way, the instruction book is big and thick, and necessarily so, because these things have so many features. I probably won't use half of them, but you do need some help, not just for installation, but also for operation and accessing the different features and modes. So we're going to be referring to that quite a bit. I downloaded the app, put it on my phone, and we'll use that as well during this process. So temporarily, we're going to install the mount, power it with the 12-volt plug, and then after we have everything up and working, I'll probably drive around with it for a couple days, and then we'll install the hardwire kit as well. Now, I'm going to include all that in this video, and so you'll get to see all of it. So the hardwire kit also comes with, in addition to the memory card, there's an SD card adapter for going into for a computer. So you don't necessarily have to download the videos direct to your phone, which is usually slow. You can take the SD card out, go to a computer, and download them that way for archiving. So the 256 gigabyte SD card should be good for 16 hours of full video. So this has a looping feature, so it's going to override old video that's not saved. But so you get 16 hours of saved video, which I think is probably about right for our needs. It will handle up to 1 terabyte, but those are more expensive. So all in, camera, mounting kit, hardwire kit, SD card, all that was $150. So not too bad for a 4K highly featured camera with good ratings. Let's keep going. So just to show you the setup that we have, you know, you've got these sun screening dots on the inside of the windshield, so you really can't attach to that. But we have this really nice cutout right next to the mounting for the rear view mirror. So, you know, the rear view mirror would normally be in a position like that. And the cam hangs down, you know, below. So when the mirror is in position, you want to be able to see your camera and access the screen. So, you know, right there is about right. We've got access buttons on the side and on the bottom. So I think we're going to tuck the, they call it an electrostatic shield, electrostatic sticker. We're going to put that right in this cutout, and then we're going to mount the camera probably right about there. All right, I probably won't be able to show you all that because this thing's just in the way, but let me get that taken care of. The electrostatic sticker is now mounted here. It's, and yes, my windshield is dirty, but it's dirty on the outside. I cleaned the inside with glass cleaner and alcohol, actually. So we're going to peel off the inner layer, and then we'll attach our 3M mount. So here's the inner layer coming off, and then we'll attach our camera mount coming up. If you're not familiar with the 3M VHB tape, you get one shot. So make sure you have your camera where you want it. And so I think this is the perfect location now. It's tucked behind the mirror, it's below the mirror, and we should be able to get all the adjustment we need out of it. And we'll check for the glare later. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we're wired up. We've got the 12-volt connection. You're not going to quite be able to see it. Plugged into the base, which is where it goes. It's a USB-C. And run to the cigarette lighter plug. The car's off. We turn the car to the accessory on position, which activates your cigarette lighter power. And I see blinking light. And then the unit powers up. Now, at this point, you really need to access your app and get connected. I'm not going to go through those steps here. This allows you to communicate between your phone and the camera itself. And that's critical for being able to monitor your camera and make some of the settings. It's easier to do some of the setting adjustments with the app rather than use all the little buttons on the bottom of the camera. So what we're going to do instead is I think we're going to give it a go and make sure that everything is working the way we want. Make sure we've got it set up for different modes. You know, here's somebody coming by on a bicycle, and if I had the right detection mode on, it should start capturing that. I don't know if it did or if it will. Actually, I can see 3, 4, 5 seconds. I think it actually did capture that. So it's logged that as an event because I did already have this set up for motion detection. And that is indicated by the little man symbol down there. Here comes a vehicle going by. And that should be being logged as well. There's a variety of settings you can make here. You know, how long the unit stays on after it detects something, how long it records, even after the motion has disappeared from view. So here you can see the flashing light, flashing red indicator is still on over here on the left side. So 57, 58 seconds. And it's recording audio as well. So here you can see the 12-volt charger has a pass-through USB charging. So, you know, I've got 2 USBs, phone chargers that I'm using with my convenience outlet here in my dash. So this at least will give me one, and figure out a plan B. Actually, no, I'm not even going to use this because I'm going to go hardwire. So once you go hardwire, you're going to get your outlet back for whatever you want to use it for. But you know, if you needed more access here, you could put a 12-volt splitter. You could, you know, there's a variety of things you could do. We've played around a little bit now with the camera with the 12-volt cigarette lighter. Let's talk about the hardwire kit. The hardwire kit comes with a USB-C cable that plugs into the same location on the camera mount. But then, we're going to have to snake that and hide it as well as possible. We'll come up into the headliner, come across, and then down. So once we've snaked, actually you should get it all hooked up first, and then we'll tuck it away later. But the module comes with a little under voltage protection. So because this is going to be wired directly to battery, you really don't ever want to be in a situation where you run your battery down with the camera and then you can't start your vehicle. It's silly. So you have 2 options on how to set this. It's explained fairly well in the manual. You can set it for 12 volts or 11.6 volts. So if you want the camera to run longer and run your battery lower, then you can set it for the 11.6 volts. Now, for some people, that might give you difficulty restarting your vehicle. So if you want to play it safe, set it for 12 volts. I'm going to start at 12 volts and see how it does for recording time. And if that causes any problems, I'll know when the system becomes not usable in parking mode. When the vehicle's on and running and you're using it as a driving dash cam, or you want to go into just a trip mode, that's different. But because then it's running by the car power without needing to rely directly on the battery. So on this end, we have 3 wire connections, a ground lug, and then 2 a battery and the accessory terminal. And what they've given you also is they've given you little pigtails that can plug into your interior fuse panel. And they've given you 4 different styles. There's vehicles over the past 30 years have gone through a variety of fuse styles. So, and they're named in here. I can't remember what all the names are, but you have to pick the one that's for you. So out of every 4, you're only going to use 1. And so there's one of those fuse holders for the battery connection, and then there's another set of 4, and you pick out the one you need for the accessory connection. So they've given you everything, and it's a pretty nice little setup. So what we'll do is we'll go into our fuse panel, identify which fuses. This is my little connector layout for my interior fuse panel. It explains which ones are battery connections, which ones are accessory connections. As you can see, these are little sistered connections. It basically allows you to tap into your fuse and power your device and still keep the fuse without having to do wire crimping and that kind of thing. So we'll pick out the correct one for accessory, one for battery. We'll plug these in, and then I'll show you a close-up of how we turn out with this once we identify where we're going to plug into. And you may actually have some spares, like I have a 2 spares on my system. So that's good. We'll use those, and should be helpful. All right, we've confirmed everything, and I just want to let you know I did pull my trim piece over the A-pillar to snake the cord in there. Make sure it's run behind the airbag, and so that way I think we'll be able to now tuck the rest of this in, and we'll have our completed hardwire install. So come back, show you that as we wrap it up. All right, here's the completion of our install. We've mounted the under voltage controller here, and inside we've got our ground wire connected to the frame. We've got our accessory wire sistered right here into this. Actually, this was a spare outlet for accessory mode, so I've used that fuse area. And battery power, we didn't have a spare, so I used this. Sorry, I used this interior light fuse, and we jumped onto that one. I had previously replaced all the halogens with LEDs, so our current draw is already low on this fuse, and so adding the extra load, it's actually not an extra load to the fuse, it's only an extra load to the wire that's in there. So not an issue, and we checked the operation according to the hardwire kit instructions. Everything looks good, and we're ready to go. That wraps it up. We've got our hardwire kit in. I'll take the 12-volt plug and we'll store this away. It's actually got a 12-volt to 5-volt USB connection on it, so that's a nice thing to have generally. So we'll store that in the van. We've got all our leftover pigtails. We've got a few extra parts in case we ever decide to move this to another vehicle, which is a nice little bonus that they've thrown in. We've confirmed that the mode switching between parking mode and driving mode is working. So to wrap up this video, I'm happy with the install. Total time, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I'm not including all the video setup time, but we're just working time. Let's take a look at some of the clips, and otherwise, hopefully this video was helpful for you and you learned something. And if you buy a Vantrue E1Pro, this should show you what you needed to get up and running. I skipped over some of the steps that are, the connection with your Wi-Fi. I also have to make a Vantrue account. They have a cloud account, which allows you to do certain things as well, and so I'll probably do that. No storage space, though, that I can find. And otherwise, let's just take a look at some snapshot and some video clips that we made, and you can see the quality that we get. I'm looking forward to doing that too. So I've got to shut the camera down, pull the card, and we'll do some commentary for some of that as well.
Okay, this first clip is motion detection when in parking mode, and you'll see I'm going to walk in front of the camera, and when it detects that motion, it starts recording 15 seconds earlier, and then it records 30 seconds after. So what I've also done, it takes a photo in addition to the video clip. So I've gone in and pulled the photo that it recorded and then freeze framed, and I confirmed that the quality of the video, the quality of the photo is identical to the video. So they just pull a photo out of the video clip. So fairly straightforward. I was happy with that. And in this next clip, we're driving. I worked with the plate picks feature quite a bit, and the plate picks is their enhancement for getting, good resolution on license plates. So here you can see there's a vehicle right in front of me, very clear, no problem. You also want to be able to get the 2 lanes on each side of you. So what I've done is, you're going to see in a minute a truck's going to pull up here, and he stops at the light. What I do then is I go in and I take a snapshot of that plate, and this would be tough to do on most cameras, but it's totally legible, not a problem. And then vehicles going in the opposing lane direction, you have a similar opportunity. So I was happy with that as well. So the plate picks does a decent job. As I was doing the final editing on the video, I happened to capture a little mini accident. So watch what happens here. This white car pulls out onto this road, and then the black car pulls out behind it. At the end of this road is a T and a stop sign. So they both pull up to the stop sign, and then the white car starts to go, moves about a foot, but doesn't go, stops again, and then the black car rear ends it. So watch this. Here it comes in regular speed. And boom, there it is. So that's it's ideal use of the camera. You've got a history, everything's recorded. Hopefully it's not you rear-ending the guy in front of you.
Like this, we're prepping for another Western Parks trip, and the Dashcam should be interesting for that. We'll probably even use the GPS tracking. Maybe we'll do some time lapse. You can set it, I think, one frame every second it'll capture, and so that's how we'll get maybe some long distance driving through some very scenic areas and see what the Dashcam can see. I did tune for reflections by rotating the polarizing filter, get rid of any glare off the dashboard. That's an important step to make. You just rotate it, up to usually 90 degrees will do it. You just find the right phase angle for that. And otherwise, I think we're ready to go. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button, and please also consider subscribing to the Vanthusiasm channel, and we'll have more content like this coming up, including our new Western Parks trip. So I'll maybe show you the route we're going to go, and the Vantrue camera should be an interesting feature to have for the trip. So when we get done with that trip, maybe we'll do some sort of trip summary as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.